The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. The pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. There's no coming to consciousness without pain. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Show me a sane man and I will cure him for you. No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Mistakes are, after all, the foundations of truth, and if a man does not know what a thing is, it is at least an increase in knowledge if he knows what it is not. Thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being. Whatever is rejected from the self appears in the world as an event. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Anyone who attempts to do both, to adjust to his group and at the same time pursue his individual goal, becomes neurotic. The bigger the crowd, the more negligible the individual becomes. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. There can be no transforming of darkness into light and of apathy into movement without emotion. I must also have a dark side if I am to be whole. What you resist, persists. Find out what a person fears most, and that is where he will develop next. Sometimes you have to do something unforgivable just to be able to go on living. The healthy man does not torture others, generally it is the tortured who turn into torturers. If the path before you is clear, you're probably on someone else's. If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. Wholeness is not achieved by cutting off a portion of one's being, but by integration of the contraries. I shall not commit the fashionable stupidity of regarding everything I cannot explain as a fraud. Midlife is the time to let go of an over-dominant ego and to contemplate the deeper significance of human existence. Shame is a soul-eating emotion. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. The reason for evil in the world is that people are not able to tell their stories. The best political, social, and spiritual work we can do is to withdraw the projection of our shadow onto others. The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. We meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. Words are animals, alive with a will of their own. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. How can I be substantial if I do not cast a shadow? I must have a dark side also if I am to be whole. Every human life contains a potential. If that potential is not fulfilled, then that life was wasted. Nothing has a stronger influence psychologically on their environment and especially on their children than the unlived life of the parent. The first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego, the second half is going inward and letting go of it. Who looks outside, dreams, who looks inside, awakes.